Hello and welcome to the 1 year special for the Get Momentum podcast for online entrepreneurs. And this is like the end of a year, and I wanted to celebrate it with you all. Thank you so much, first of all, for listening. You'll notice that there's been no introduction to this podcast. It's just straight up how it is. And that is because this is episode number 49. I'm pretty sure. Let me check. And so I was hoping to get to 50 by the time we got here. That's okay. And it is, yep, number 49. It's nearly there. And it's been a year since I started my podcast. Now, if you've been following me along on socials, which is really easy, it's all just Penny Elliott, then you'll know that this year has been an eventful one in my personal life, to say the least. So I'm really, really pleased that one, you've stuck with me. Two, we've still had incredible guests that have come onto this podcast over the first year of launch. And I'm really, really proud of my old team. As you know now, I don't have a team that have helped me get this podcast out in weeks where I thought it was going to be impossible. So I'm really, really want to be honoring all of you for listening to this, sharing it with your friends and family, sharing it with people who needed to hear the message, depending on which guest it was. And what my aim for the Get Momentum podcast was to share the woo with the do. So to go with my book, I'm just grabbing my book now, the Get Momentum book. So if you're listening to this, you can't see it. It's Your Ultimate Guide to Create 100K in 100 Days Without Fear, Overwhelm, and Burnout. It's Amazon #1 bestseller. And the podcast really stemmed from this so that we could have some interviews that were about strategy and some interviews that were about woo style of achieving your goals, and kind of a mixture of both. Now, you'll probably all remember the question at the end of the podcast, which was always, what was your favorite one-liner? And I am actually going to compile all of those for you in the future, because that's the one that really stuck. One lady we had, it was an 8-figure entrepreneur and she was really stumped on that as well. So it does catch everyone out. So it was a really good question and I enjoyed asking it. I enjoyed asking people what their biggest struggle was. And if you have listened diligently to all 48 previous episodes, if you haven't, go back, binge. It's winter here in New Zealand, so you can easily do that at nighttime or while you're driving. And it's somewhere in the Northern Hemisphere, so you guys can all listen to it on the beach in your isolation bubble. And the main theme that I wanted you all to hear is that it wasn't a straight line to the top, right? All of these hugely successful entrepreneurs like Taki Moore, Denise Duffield-Thomas, John Lee Dumas, and his wife, Kate Erickson, who's just been is going to be on the podcasting mega stage soon. We had Kelly, we just had such a range of people. I don't need to list them all. You guys have seen all of them. And they all are super successful entrepreneurs. They're all where you want to be, or otherwise, if you're already there, they've got elements that you want to have. And that is something that I want everyone to reflect on, because it is never a straight line to the top. They all struggled. Some of them even had such bad stuff that they had going on while they were being interviewed by me, and I really want to honor the fact that they still got on. Kim Barnett from Perth really pops to mind. They'd gone into a lockdown. They just had all of their Facebook ad accounts frozen, and they're a Facebook ads agency. So mega stress. And he's come through it out the other side, and I've seen all of his great stuff afterwards, and he's put on an excellent live event only last week. So what I wanted you to all take from all of these episodes, I could have gone back and done snippets like a lot of podcast owners do, but what I wanted you to really take from all of them was that no one had a struggle-free, stress-free, 6-figure business off the bat, right? So from that theme, and from all of my hundreds of clients that I've had over the past 5 years, I went back and I dug deep and I really thought about what is it that, um, everyone's after the secret sauce, the magic pill, but what is it that really makes, it's the largest coaching, the largest growing industry in the world, behind IT. What is it that creates those top 1%? What does it create that creates that top 1% of earners that earn over seven figures? All the rest earn below. What is it? And I obviously went back to my sporting ways because that is my huge passion. And what I really realized was that it's all about up here. And if you're listening to this, it's all about mindset. And um, then I dug a little bit deeper and I thought, everybody out there is doing mindset, right? Manifesting this, fucking writing this quote down, writing that quote down. Muse headsets have gone through the roof. The Calm app's gone crazy. And it was really interesting because um, my now ex-husband, he had severe anxiety and severe depression, and he went through this journey of trying to self-discover himself. And then my partner had a severe incident that happened to him that caused him to have some really serious mental health issues at the beginning of this year, which I'm not quite ready to share with everyone openly and publicly at the moment. But if you've watched my Instagram stories, you probably will get a snippet of what has been going on. And what I could see was him going through that same self-discovery journey, watching I'm Not Your Guru by Tony Robbins, starting to use the Calm app, starting to do mindfulness, asking me what this journaling thing is. And I thought, isn't it incredible that they go through the same journey, yet why are people in this place to start with? And it all boils down to motivational mindset. It's not just about knowing about mindset. It's not just about using your muse twice a month and then never using it. Hands up, that's me. It's not about showing up one day and then not showing up the next. That's me. It's not about being so motivated about something and then it all dwindling off, or buying all the books. And if you're watching the video, you'll be able to see them all behind me, and never reading any of them, right? It's not about that. Because that's people are like, oh, mindset, I've ticked the box. And what it boils down to, it boils down to having grit, determination, and motivational mindset. And so I am about to launch. If you're on my email list, then you will get first dibs. If you're not, then pop me a message and I'll chuck you on there. You won't get this whole welcome email bullshit anymore. You are going to just get emails every week from me about what I've talked about on the podcast. And at the moment, we're going to send out a range of emails to tell you about this new mentorship. Now, it's not coaching, okay? Because everyone I'm speaking to out here in the business world or the sports world knows about mindset, right? That is like fucking 3 years ago history. What I'm talking about is how to use that and stick at it and keep going and keep pushing, because that is the thing that has made this 1% of people seven-figure entrepreneurs versus the rest of the population that's all muddling around pretending to get to six figures when really they're probably not even getting to $1,000 a month. So there's nothing wrong with that. But what there is you need the accountability. You need to know what your why really is. And I hazard a guess, it's not just your children, right? A lot of our whys that drive us are hugely vain, hugely fear-driven, hugely intrinsic. There's lots of different reasons, and we're going to dive into those. We are going to dive into what drives you, what keeps you driven, because it's easy to pick up a new sport, it's easy to pick up a new business idea, but it's very, 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 very hard to follow through. And the ones that follow through do well. And in sales, it's I think the stat, I probably muck it up, but it's 76% of people need, no, 82% of people need to be spoken to at least twice before they make a purchasing decision. Yet 76% of salespeople never follow up more than once. Or maybe those stats are around the other way. But what it's saying is people need to have more and more context and confidence to buy something where most people don't have the perseverance to keep going at it, to keep asking these people. So what I am about to launch is coming out in my newsletter list tomorrow. They will be the first to know. And I'm sure if you have a look at my website over the next couple of days, pennyelliott.com, you'll be able to see it coming up there. But my list is going to get the first dibs. If you are not on my list and you're an avid podcast listener or YouTube watcher or Facebook watcher or wherever you consume this content, then please send me a message so that you can get first dibs on this new mentorship. It's not coaching, it's not business coaching, it is mindset, motivational coaching. It's about accountability, it's about setting goals, it's about actually achieving them, it's about turning your dreams into done, right? And so I'm excited to bring that to you. What does that mean for the podcast? That means that I'm going to be interviewing a lot more sports people about what has driven them to be amazing. It is going to be a lot more about what motivates people, how they've got themselves out of a sticky situation, and how they have moved the needle forward. No one that listens to this needs another strategy to grow their business or another training plan to get them to whatever finish goal line weight goal that they have, right? You all know how to do it. So why is it that you don't do it? And that's what we're going to dive into for the next year and beyond, because a lot of these books up here that are behind me, and if you're listening to the podcast, I'm sitting in my new office in my new house, and I have all my books back again, and it just makes me feel so grounded, and I love it. And thank you to Janine, who is who is the feng shui specialist, who's helped me, make sure my house is definitely designed the right way to bring all the energetic flow, which just flows down to you guys. So I hope that you stay tuned. Make sure that you share this with everyone so they are on the jump, ready to go. And when you're thinking, oh yeah, I will share that, and then you get caught up in something else, that is what I'm talking about. You're doing that in the rest of your life as well. So make sure you share it, do it now, get it done. Talk soon.